There it is. That's going to be a fun cover. I was squinting my eyes when the YouTube first came on, so I'm sure that picture is going to look ridiculous. It has definitely been a boring. Well, I don't know. Not if you were short. Price action has been pretty dry lately, though. The week before that, I was just like watching paint dry.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
Good morning, Gord. Good morning, Arturo. How you guys doing today? How is everybody doing? Gaston, Carlos, thanks to being enrolled in your program, still on the positive. Oh, you definitely want to grab that. Thank you, Carlos. Uh, by the way, we 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 took a nice profit in not a huge profit, but a nice profit in
Five.
five this morning in the pit. And the part that I wanted to show everybody, we're out. We could talk about it now. Unluckily, spready options. Hey, you can't, trade the underlying. What can I tell you? But my most important point, what I wanted to show you was this. Uh, here's what I wanted to show you. Here is the intraday. Here's the 5-minute chart. Look at the daily chart. Look at the SPY. SPY just went up from the lows all the way up here, right?
You're not sharing your screen.
Oh, sorry. Let me share my screen. I'm so used to sharing my screen that it's odd when I'm not doing it. Richard, remind me in like a few minutes and I'll do it. I will do it. I'll show you the volatility calculator. Let me just share my screen real quick. Where's my screen? There we go. Number 6. Okay. This is the part that you guys need to understand. And this is the important part. So this is the SPY. Look at the SPY. We gapped up, we went down, and now we're above the VWAP, right? This is the VWAP. This is the low. My key is not to make a lot of money on the stock. My key is not to get whipsawed on the stock. Look at the stock in this 5-minute chart. How much did the stock pull back with the market? That's good, Adam. So my point is always, 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 always try to find stocks. Not, hey, this is going to maximize my profits. No, no, no. The profits will take care of themselves. Always find a stock that has that resilience to the upside or downside. I felt very warm and fuzzy that if the market was going to rally right now, the stock would stay weak, and it did. And again, look what the SPY did, and look at the last 40 minutes. Let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, about 40, 45 minutes. And what did this stock do in the last 40 minutes? Nothing. It's still almost $1. We got in at 148.44. And look at this, 147.47 to the short side. Anyway, that's a trade from the trading pit from this morning, and I probably more likely than I will have several others. Not several, maybe one or two others today. I choose trades that are yes, every trade that I choose is a swing trade. I wouldn't. The way I figure out if it's worth doing is based on its swing. So every trade starts out as a swing trade. And by the way, you might have seen 5 on my short list over the last month several times. So, hey, Ken, what happened? Why'd you have a hassle getting into the room today? Didn't pay your internet bill? I'm just messing around. What happened? Was it Zoom or was it your internet? Oh, rogerscott.com wasn't responding. Then I guess we didn't pay our internet bill. Yeah, financials are the best sector to be in for the long side right now. I mentioned that, and I gave you guys a couple of stocks to talk about, which we won't bring up here. Okay, so this morning I pretty much talked about my analysis for the week ahead. I kind of gave you the key levels. I'll talk about it really quickly here before I get into my setups. But the big thing you need to take away this week is this. We still have this 500 level. This 500 level is very, very between 500 and 550, probably around here. We need to get above this level. Nothing really great is going to happen, especially with technology, till we get above this. There's a psychological level. We've been beat. Every time we hit the 505, we get smacked down. So we got to go above this level. That's this level right here that I'm talking about. Got to go above here. Got to get above this level and this level right here. It's a lot of resistance right here. A lot of resistance right here. Ton. Look. There's a lot of if we were doing volume profile, Matt, I bet you the point of control would be right around here. Somewhere right around here, right around 500, 499, 501. Margaret says, I'm getting unstable trouble. No video. Help. Margaret, why don't you just go to YouTube? You can watch it. You can watch it on YouTube. Yeah.
Rewind, fast forward.
Yeah. Kathy, thank you. I appreciate that. Good. Good. Go ahead and get that, Matt. That's a good one there. Yeah, I mean, it seems to be working pretty good for everybody else here. We got 250 people, 240 people, and it's only 12:07. We usually have them come in as the day goes on. Anyway, let's continue. Okay, let's continue this. So, as far as this week's data is concerned, just go to YouTube. If Zoom is slow, go to YouTube, and you can literally watch it on demand along with us, which is kind of fun actually, because you can pause, stop. You can hear me going forward. I sound so funny when I'm speaking forward. Where was it? Echo. Here we go. So just so you guys have what are the landmines this week? Well, I broadcasted this for you this morning. I broadcasted it and I posted it. I'm going to do it again right now. And I want to talk a little bit about it, actually. I'll post it again for you. Here you go. There we go. There we go. So what am I sharing with you? Well, I have my implied volatility, and we'll talk about how to calculate implied volatility in a minute. But you could see the expected implied volatility for every big reporting stock. So for example, if for some reason you think, I'm making this up as I'm going along, okay? If for some reason you think that Halliburton's going to move 10% up or down, it doesn't matter. This is bilateral. And it's only expecting to move 4.3, well, you would be buying a straddle or a strangle. If you expect Spotify to only move 2%, not 10, and I have no idea how much Spotify is expecting to move. 10 sounds about right. But then I would be selling a straddle or a strangle. So you would envelope on both sides these stocks depending on and whether you're buying or selling that straddle or strangle would be dependent on the implied volatility, and that's what I'm giving you here. So you could just sit here and say, oh, okay, there was one that I was really looking at that just looked out of whack. Let's see which one it was. It looked totally out of whack. I mentioned it this morning, actually. Which one was it? It wasn't Tesla. It was on this page, I remember. Thank you. Well, they remember better than I do. CLF. Yeah. Thank you very much. The paper company. They remember better than I do, Matt. Isn't that something? So, for example, a cursory look at CLF. This is a paper company. I'm not used to seeing a 7.7% move on the underlying. So, for example, we would go to bar chart. Seems like a pretty big move, but if it's a cheap stock, maybe. It's a pretty cheap stock, so it's not impossible. If it's like a $300 stock, 7-8% move, a lot more of us than you. Yeah, there are a lot more of, yeah. No iron condors. No, not iron condors. No. So just to show you an example, it's a $20 stock. 7% actually doesn't sound all that much because it's a $20 stock. But to give you an example, we would go, yeah, I knew it was either paper or metals, one or the other, but either way, we would go to the options. We would look at the closest options. So earnings are 422, means we need an expiration after 422. We would look at the 21 strike price. 67.67 is last for the calls. For the puts, oh, we can even go to, yeah, 21 is fine. 78. So let's just say 78 and 67 is, see, 80, 155, believe it is, if my math's, or 100, 150, 150, what, $1.54. So, $1.54 you would be spending. Now, what is $1.54 a percentage of $21 or 2092? That's how it's determined. Okay. That's how it's determined. So how do you determine implied volatility? You would take the closest call and put that expires the closest after earnings. You would add them together and you would see what percentage of that makes up the stock price. That's how you would do it. That's how you measure implied volatility. All right. Okay. So just for someone here who asked me how I do it, that's how you would do it. So if you have $100 stock, for example, and the 50 and the 100 call is $5 and the 100 put is $5, you add them together, you get $10. What's $10 of $100? 10%. Implied volatility is 10%. Because think about it, if they're at the money, they don't have any intrinsic value. So it's all implied volatility. So that's kind of how you do that. Okay. So it's very simple. So let's now go back to our earnings for the week. Yeah, 7.3. Remember, those numbers were written like 24, 48 hours ago, something like that. So yeah, sounds about right. You'll get close. Okay, so we weren't talking about NUE. We were talking about we were talking about a different ticker symbol. Okay, no problem. Yeah, we were talking about CLF. Yeah. So tomorrow, new home sales. Remember, housing starts were a little soft, and we're now past New Year's, and we're looking ahead. But this data tells us behind. This may be a little bit of a wildfire. Durable goods is a really big report, not like a GDP, but it's a big report. I think we're going to have a muted session slightly because we have GDP. On top of that, oh boy, and let's talk on top of that. You got Google, you got Visa, you got Tesla tomorrow. I mean, this market's this is why we have to be we have to be like sharpshooters this week. Okay. We have GE tomorrow. Every stock, we have RTX, which is one of the reasons why I didn't buy it on Friday. I really wanted to buy the stock on Friday, but I didn't want to get stock. We got Lockheed Martin. You guys know my theory on earnings. The only person who can predict earnings is God and the CEO. Nobody else can. I don't believe there's a sustainable mathematical way to predict earnings. I think over time it would be completely random. It's my opinion. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. We got Microsoft on Thursday. We got Ford on Wednesday. We got Boeing on. Oh, this is going to be a beauty. The volatility is going to be great. LRCX, IBM, Meta. Thursday, you got Microsoft. So you got a lot of stocks reporting. If you guys want their estimates, the estimates are all baked in right here, and that's what's being baked into the price. I also gave you the big ones, what their year-to-year expectations were. I put this here for you as well. Yeah, there you go. Good. Meta, it's all here, and I separated them before the open or after the close. So you have this. It's pretty extensive. Okay, this should keep you updated based on from now till the end of the week. Okay, this should give you everything you need to know. Now let's look at a few little trinkets here. Looking at volatility. Let's look at volatility. Volatility is going down. It's not going up. That's very, very good for the market. Oh, my pleasure, Mark. Volatility's cooling off. Bonds? Bonds are not really doing anything, which is fine. They're not, remember, it's not a direct asset, but the fact that volatility is not doing anything to the upside, not breaking highs, is a very, very telling sign. And the fact that Thursday and Friday we couldn't break through this level was also a telling sign. Uh, Keep in mind, earnings haven't started yet. They start later today, tomorrow. So be careful. But this is a good sign that it's starting to go down. Another good thing that I'm seeing is financials. I'm liking a lot what I'm seeing in the financial sector. I'm seeing a pretty broad-based accumulation. Stocks like AIG are starting to move up. Stocks like Wells Fargo are starting to move up. Stocks like Bank of America are starting to look up. Stocks like JP Morgan are starting to look up. There's a lot of stocks that are looking up. I like what I'm seeing in the financials, and and remember, financials don't have as much of an impact as technology or consumer discretionary towards interest rates. And their earnings are coming out mixed so far. Not too bad, not too bad. And I think they're a little overdone with this downside correction. But I like financials right now. Now it's interesting. But last week we're actually not that far from where we were last week. But there's a lot more longs on the table than there were a week ago. Yeah, Cyrus. I'm waiting for the end of the day too to see if there's anything moving. But we did scalp 5 pretty well today. That worked out well. So let's now go through our stocks. I'll go through the long side first, okay? So TSN. I like the stock. I like defensive stocks are going up, which is not really all that great for technology. And the fact that markets are today's actually the first day that we're seeing tech rallying and the blue chips rallying, which is actually really good. Entered 5, exit 5. Nice. Vivek made money on 5. Yeah, grab that from Vivek too. Good. I'm glad to hear that. Options. Let's look at our options. Notice the daily and the intraday. They're not all that different from each other. Kanashi's here. Kanashi's here. We're looking at calls. We're going 18 days out. We're going to the 71 delta. We're going to the 59 calls right here. Right there. Still like Schwab. And last time I checked, they're a financial company. Look at the 5-minute and look at the daily. Look at the charts. Matt, look how similar they look, don't they?
Extremely.
Those are the best ones. It's too bad I didn't pick it up at the VWAP today. That would have been a good one. Anyhow, we can go 18 days out. We have earnings season. We want to go a little further. We go to a 70 delta. We go to a 73 call right here. Nice breakout on Alaska. The fact is, we're still defending. The bulls are still defending. I don't like how we're trading below the VWAP intraday, but we are still seeing some defensive. So I think there may be still some firepower here. 25 days remaining, 79 delta, 4250. That would get you good for the next 25 days. Right here, 4250. Next one, consumer staples are starting to rally, much like financials. That doesn't bode well for technology. But here we are. GIS stop loss right here, right in this area right there, about 68. We would go 18 days out. We would go to the 73 call, 69, 73 delta, 69 call. Right here is our sweet spot. Let's go. We're here. Lockheed Martin. Probably not a good day trade, but doesn't look like a bad swing trade for obvious reasons. I don't like how far away it's from the 8-day EMA, so I would probably wait for it to come back down to earth, which would be near the 457 level, would be a good place to put an alert. But in terms of options, I would go 73 days out, 455 calls right here. right there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. These are not screened for earnings. These are not screened for earnings. I don't screen for earnings. I did get a new assistant today that helps me screen with earnings. Yeah. Alexa, when is earnings for Lockheed Martin? It says April 16th. Is that wrong? Huh. They didn't have earnings yet. I think Penny's right. I saw it on my chart. So you're wrong, Alexa.
I'd have moved it.
Moved it. They didn't move it. They couldn't move it back. That's funny. Huh, interesting. Interesting. Anyhow, uh, just something to keep an eye on. Let's continue. ELV, healthcare company, doing really good here. I would put a stop around the 517 area. We would go 510. It's very spready, but that's where you would go about 510. And you go ahead and offset it with the 540, but still, that's pricey. There you go, Robert. See, we all have the same assistant now. Yeah, it's tomorrow morning. That's what I have on my thing too. Allstate. I really like this stock a lot. And I already checked earnings on it. It reports May 1st. Sorry, Big Daddy Dave and everybody else. And I like how it's moving intraday too, by the way. I like the stock right now. I would put my stop right here at right around the 8-day EMA, about 169.29. And I would look at a delta of about 82, which would take us to the 165 call. This stock looks fantastic today. AZN, another healthcare stock, swinging above the high, touching the VWAP right now. War Dog. Everybody's Alexa went off, huh? There you go. Yeah, I like the stock right now. Let me make a little note here. Alexa, when is earnings on AZN? April 25th. Alexa, stop. Okay. 25th. 3 days from now. All right. See? Alexa talks more than Matt does. 68.90. Maybe even lower, like around 68.50. '81 Delta, 68 call right there. You know, John, you actually reminded me of something I wanted to talk about today. I'll bring that up in a second. Definitely more accurate. Yeah, at least Matt is correct, right? This utility stock, 27 27.30. Spreads are crappy on it. Hey, that stock we put in Bargain Hunter top stock seems to be doing pretty well, Matt, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we're up 13%.
Good. BG, I like this stock. Looks really good. Stop would be right here at about 104.20-ish. 25 days out. 83. Thank you, Adam. 83 Delta, 105 calls. I like this stock a lot, actually. 33-ish for a stop. A delta of 77, 32.50 call. And if you didn't have a chance to get out of 5 earlier, you can get out of it right now and take about $1 and 10-cent profit from the call from the trade earlier today. It's at 147.31. There's nothing else. Look, Bob, there's nothing else. There's only 25 days. I have nothing to work with here. See? It's either 25 days or 60 days. You're right. I just don't I got nothing to work with. But you're
All the
right.
market makers,
And the spreads are crap too, by the way. And you could do this one here at 77 for 32.50. That one's okay. But I really like this stock. Like this, I have like 4 stocks that I'm looking to day trade today. That's one of them. It's on my list, potential list. So that's the, and I got one more PPC. Man, I really like these stocks a lot. Look at this daily chart. It's fantastic, right? Why do you want me to talk about WFC if it's not on my list, MBV? I'm only talking about stocks that I'm liking, not stocks that you're liking. Stop loss around 34.80. 74 delta, no option closer than 25 days, so we will have to go to 25 days. Now, before I go to the short side, I want to bring something up because I even make a note for myself, all right? I've gotten 2 or 3 emails last week, not last week, like over the last 3 weeks. There's a couple of people, and I don't know who, I don't want to mention names, but there's a couple of people out there who seem to think, out of ignorance, obviously, that somehow my list of my list of stocks that I'm looking at is every stock that they're looking at. Matt, it's amazing. So one guy got really pissed off that I didn't go long Apple the one day that Apple had a long day. He was like, "Why didn't you go long Apple? How could you have missed Apple? You picked a trade that only made 40 cents. You could have made 90 cents on or $3 whatever on Apple." Folks, I don't look at every stock. I look at stocks that are on my list. So if your favorite stock is dropping or going up 100 points, it doesn't mean anything to me. And my list is very small. That's number one. Last week, at the end of last week, I got a similar email. Somebody was really pissed off that I didn't make money. Oh, they created a conspiracy theory in my head and thought that the reason I didn't want to give you NVIDIA in the trading pit was because I gave it in another program, but I didn't give it in any other program. And the same thing for Tesla. They assumed that the reason they're not getting Tesla is because I'm putting it into other programs. A lot of folks seem to think, not a lot, some people seem to think that I put certain trades in certain programs because I know ahead of time that they're going to work out or not. Folks, I'm going to tell you something. If you think that, then you're insane. You're just insane. Okay. Now, I've only gotten 3 emails, but basically the theme is, how could you have missed this stock? It's not on my list. If it's not on my list, it's not on my list. Number 2, I don't have any conspiracy theories about putting certain stocks in certain programs. If it doesn't fit a certain program, I don't put it into that program. It's that simple. So if you don't see your favorite stock, or if I missed a move on Tesla or NVIDIA or AOL, I don't know what the hell it is. It's not because I'm doing something on purpose or nefarious. Now, the people in this room right now, most of you have most of my programs. Did I put NVIDIA in any program last week? No. Did I put Tesla in any program last week? No. I just didn't put them anywhere because I completely missed them, for good or bad. My point is, please stop creating these cockamamie conspiracy theories in your head. I'm not that good. I don't know what stock is going to make money ahead of time and put them in the right program and manipulate programs. I don't do any of that. All right. So if you guys are thinking that, then you got to screw loose. Okay. Really, if you really think that, you have a screw loose. Okay. And you have a paranoid personality disorder too. No, you didn't. You reminded me. I had it on my note right here. I've been meaning to talk about this, and it happened 3 times, and it never used to happen. It's like, I don't know why. I don't know why people think that I have some secret power and I know ahead of time what stock is going to make money, and I put them into programs that are doing really well, or programs that I want to do really well. I mean, that's just amazing to think that way. Really, come on, let's be real here. You did a good job, probably more than three. There'll always be somebody dissatisfied. Oh, I get dozens of them. But my point is, it's I don't want you guys to think that there's some kind of a conspiracy theory or there's something nefarious going on, or I'm purposely holding out trades on you. I don't do any of that at all. I don't like coordinate anything. I don't do anything. Yeah, so it's like, please, that's just ridiculous. To think that way is ridiculous. Hakamemi, you should have seen this email. I didn't I wanted to put on Tesla, but I didn't. I waited, but I must have put it in a different program so that people wouldn't get it here, so they would subscribe to another program. I didn't do any of that. All right, now let's go through the short side. So anyway, I don't do any of that stuff, guys. And Matt, do we ever talk that way? But let's put it in this program so it'll do better. Let's put it in that programs.
Never.
Like it's just yeah, it's just and if I missed a trade that was obvious to you, I missed it. I have my hit list is limited. It's what I look at. Or maybe it's core, maybe if I didn't want to buy Nvidia that day or sell it because I thought the market was going to go up, there could be a million reasons, and you can always ask me. But to presume that I'm holding it out in one program so I could put it in another program, that's just, I mean, it's like somebody's got some serious problems. All right, let's watch this. So ARK, I think that Kathy Woods, I think we still have a while to go till small caps come out with earnings, and I think we're going to see some more downside from Kathy. Matter of fact, there's really no major support till the 40 level, which is a couple of points away. Then you have a support level around 38, and then you have all the way to the bottom. That's the only thing I do. Yeah. Yeah, I don't and by the way, that 5, it's now at 146.96. So just don't complain that you missed it, okay? If it's out of topic, wait till I'm done. Ask me again. Let me just do this now. I'm sorry, I've been wanting to say that rant for like 3 sessions now, and I keep forgetting it. And then finally, I wrote myself a note here. Enough is enough. Oh, they weren't. They were saying. Oh, by the way, each of these traders said they make the most money with my programs. They're upset that I'm not giving them, that I'm holding out more trades from them and putting them into other programs. That's what they were upset about. It was the funniest email I've ever gotten. 160.73 is your stop. 18 days to go. 75 delta, 152.50 strike price right here. Snow is completely BB, completely, and different parameters and different everything. They're completely different for whatever reason. No, it's a conspiracy theory, you see. They're all seasonality, right? CAH. You know what? We're gonna scratch this one because I like how it's bouncing and I like the support here, so we're not gonna do CAH. It's got a couple of points in it, Angie. Right here, right here. So I'm gonna wait off on this. Scratch CAH. ANET. Oh yes, we want stocks that are in a steep long-term downtrend like this. Alexa, when are earnings for ANET? She said Monday, but she didn't say what Monday. Right here, 258.72. No? Okay, Nina, I'll give it to you right now. 1 second. Let me do this one first. Let's just do this one. 258.72, 18 days out. 69 delta. Believe it or not, they're pricey, but they have a good spread. 255 put, and you compare that with the 230s. It'll cost you about $12. So next Monday. Thank you. I appreciate that. That gives me more. That gives me room to play with this stuff. I like this stuff. Really like this stuff. And while I'm on the topic of stocks, look at today. I want to show you guys something. 1, 2, 3, going down. Have I said enough? Or do I need to expand on this thought of mine? Do I need to explain anything further from what I just explained to you? Do I need to expand on my concept, or can I go on? 1, 2, 3, and look at the level. All right, good. Want to make sure that it's obvious. We're past the point where I have to explain every little detail to you. Okay, now ARC. I do want you to have that option. It's not a bad thing to have as a hedge too right now. I would go 18 days out on ARC. I would go to the 76 delta. I would go to the 44 put. JBL. JBL. Not right now. It looks like it's consolidating around this area. They're not gonna mess with it right now. Now this one I looked very long and hard this morning, and I'm still looking at it long and hard. I like this stock. I like semiconductors that are bucking the trend right now. Because even if Nvidia and AMD and all of those stay strong, there should be a little bit of a shakeout. You know, On Semiconductor had one. We talked about it. I gave it to you. This one may have one too. Right here is your stop, right at the 71-ish level. 25 days for the puts because thank you for that, Penny. Yes, I have it here written as the 29th. Okay. 72 delta, 70 put right here. I really like this stock. I like stocks that have not been able to go up at all in the last couple of weeks, no matter what the market's been trying to do. Like super weak stocks, like tanks, where you can't lift them, where they just don't want to go anywhere. Okay. That's why when you have a stock like Five, and I'm sorry I keep going back to it, that's why you want a stock like Five. How is Five doing when the market was still going up? It was already doing bad. How about when the market was going sideways? It was doing bad. And how about when the market's going down? It does even worse. That's what you want. That's what you want. That gives you some very counterintuitive and very hard for most people to do because they don't have the the confidence in themselves yet, but you will with time. All right, BBIO. I like how it's going down, and I don't think there's any major. I stand corrected. We're at major support. Forget this stock. I want stocks that are way below. It'll be good once it breaks down. Light. Mm, yeah, it's breaking down. This is the bottom right here, and it's breaking down now. And look how it's moving to VWAP intraday. I like this stock. Wonder how the spreads are. Well, we'll find out right now. 20 cents, not too bad. B, not A spread, but a B spread. A spread would be like a 5-cent spread. But I like the stock. Correct me if I'm wrong, Matt, but this stock deals with solar power. 84 delta, 45 put, 25 days to go. With a stop right here above about this pivot right here. All right, I'm going to give you guys a bonus pick. I can't give you a bonus pick because this thing isn't. I'll tell you what, we'll just do the stock. The stock looks like it's going to come back to this 1955 level. The options are crap, but I really like the stock to the long side. Wait a minute. I'm looking at puts. Let's look at calls. Yeah,
Light's,
they're just as bad.
light is not solar, by the way.
Light is what?
It's not solar, I don't
Okay.
think.
Anyway, let's go back to light. Like the stock to the downside. Let's continue. Builder. Now remember, this week we have new home here. We have new home sales. Thank you, Adam. We have new home sales and we have GDP. Both of them will impact builders substantially. The stock looks like it wants to continue going in a downtrend. It's not showing any reprieve at all. And it looks like it could be a good swing trading stock because it's not breaking down. So you're not, I know you guys don't like to buy when it's really, really low. Oh my, Matt. Do you know what to issue for gap to green?
Now there's a
Hold on one second. Here, I'll text you. I'll Skype you.
Oh,
Okay.
wait, let me see.
I posted it
Yeah,
for you.
that's what I thought it was.
And we talked about it earlier today, and it just hit my entry signal.
Yeah.
So there's no excuse there. No excuse there.
Long, right?
Yes. Yes, long. Yes. Okay. Sorry about that, folks. I already maybe somebody here for Pink Sparkles. Love your name. Can go again through that trade on light. If not, I'll go through it later. Now here's a stock. I've probably mentioned this stock 20 times in the last 3 months, maybe more. No joke. No joke. I've mentioned the stock either in the morning or in the afternoon all the time. Am I correct in saying that for the regular folks in this room? Would you agree with me on that? Okay. All right. So there's no surprises here. I would put a stop loss about 184 level, and I would go 18 days out. I would go to a 75 delta, and I would go to a 175 put. It's interesting. I'm starting to see a lot of stocks that I'm liking to the upside and to the downside. For a while there, we were like, you know, both hands behind our back to the downside. It was really sad for me. It was hard for me to find trades because all I had was to the long side. But now we've got trades to the short side too. ENT Integris Technology, it's a semiconductor manufacturer. But Roger already went from 140 all the way to 120. Yes, but I wouldn't want to be long this stock right now. I would put a stop right here at about 130. And the options are actually okay. Look at that. I was surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised. 130 put. And if you want, you can spread that with the 115 put. So your offset will be a couple of bucks. It'll be like $7. It really makes a lot more sense to buy these. Okay. One second. Okay. Okay. Never mind. Sorry about that. Uh, that is my list for today. That is my list for today. Now, a few things before I let Matt speak. So yeah, folks, really, seriously though, please don't think like I'm hiding trades. Got to be pretty diabolical to think that way. Okay. So I show you guys this in the morning all the time, and we haven't changed it. We still haven't, we're still in this range right here. We haven't broken out. Why am I showing you this to you? Well, what I'm trying to say to you right now is this. If this market is going to go higher, it's got a lot of upside to catch up. Okay. The downside, not so much. The downside, we have a lot of, we're literally at the 100-day moving average. We have a pivot here. As much as I would want to see this market go lower, I don't think this market really wants to go that much lower right now. So I would watch these levels very, very carefully, and I would like to see today and towards the end of the day, I would like to us to go above 500. That would go a long way for the market to show me good faith. Same thing here. Look, let's go 5 days. You see where we're at? We tried to pivot here. We're in this area. On the NASDAQ 100, we have to go to 420 or break below this 415. The market does not look like it wants to break today. The market looks fairly strong today. So to me, it looks like we're either going to sit in this range today and open higher tomorrow or lower tomorrow, or break through this range towards the end of today. But I think today made its low. Now, look, I'm no mind reader, but excuse me, I can't predict the future. Good, Angie. So, 420, I would feel a lot more comfortable starting to go long aggressive stocks like tech stocks, things like that, once we start breaking above here. Why am I telling you this? Not so you could feel warm and fuzzy about where we're at, but I want you guys to understand that if the market starts heating up, it's got a lot of upside to catch up on. So you're not going to miss out on anything at all by holding on or waiting a little bit for the upside. If you want to trade to the downside, my suggestion is pick stocks that started and continued breaking down while the market was going up, and find every day in the last 2 weeks that the market was going up and make sure those stocks were going down on that day. So, for example, look at the SPY, look at the daily. It's been going down every day. I want to find stocks that were going down here too. I want to find stocks that were going down on these days too. Because you see, the more the SPY goes, I want to find stocks that are not up 0.60 today. I want to find stocks that are down on the day right now. Okay. Wow. Thank you, Brendan. I may have to replace Alexa with you. Very kind of you. It takes a few minutes, Penny.
Yeah.
Press F5. Okay. It takes a few minutes. Yes, that too. And Cyrus, I'm not suggesting a I'm talking about SPY going from here to the 50-day moving average. Now remember something. Thank you, Brendan. Remember something. We can very easily and more than likely go to the 50-day moving average and then come right back down, which is not uncommon, not unheard of, and not unexpected. But we first have to get there, and there's a long road ahead of us. So this leads me to what I was saying before. We're at a two-sided market. Let's trade it at a two-sided market, but you're going to have a lot of difficulty finding good short stocks right now unless you go past these few days. Oops, excuse me. Unless you go past those few days and start really looking at what's there and what's not. Okay, so very, very important. In other words, you want to see exactly what the market gave, when the market was selling off, when the market was firming up. You want to have all of that in your toolkit before going short. I tried giving you a list of stocks today, and if you notice, every one of the stocks that I gave you today to the short side, not everyone, most of them, they already were breaking down well before the market was breaking down. So to put this in different words, I would want you to look for bearish runs that are somewhat mature. So if this was a daily chart, this type of a daily chart to the downside is the kind you want to attack, because you want to make sure the stock was going down well below this whole gyration happened. I think I'm making myself very clear. On the opposite end of the scale to the long side, you don't need to play stocks that were going up forever because you're not going to find any. There's only 20 stocks or 10 stocks making 20-week highs. And I think I gave you most of them. But there's a lot of stocks that are about to break back above the 50-day moving average, headed higher, which may have a couple of days in them if the market starts, because the market has to go through here, 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 and then finally, it will be a little bit bullish. I mean, look at all of these levels it has to test just to come back here, and it wasn't even going up here for a month. It was flat. So this is the QQQ, just to show you what I'm looking at. We have a lot of climbing to do, and from this perspective, it's a lot easier to go down than going up. So are we going to get stuck here? Are we going to get stuck below the 100-day? Are we going to go to the 200-day? Or are we going to go up? It doesn't really matter. But what I need you to know is the type of stocks you pick now could be very important in terms of how they react over the next 3 or 4 days. If you pick the stock like 5 that's been just kind of going down for a while, it's probably not going to rally really hard, even if the SPY goes against you, right? Defense, defense, defense. All right. Thank you, Stephen. Matt, why don't you go ahead and do seasonality? Thank you. And here's the chart if I'm still screen sharing.
Oh, you're not. I
It's
just kicked you
okay.
off.
It's okay. I just wanted to show the chart with the ups. Here, I wanted to.
I'll take it back.
I'll
Take it back real quick.
yeah, I will. I wanted to just draw something here. I want you guys to see this. See this on the SPY? This is a 15-minute on the SPY. See, we have these levels here. This is why I keep harpering that this level right here. We need to break above here, and then we need to break above the 500 right here. We can break above today this 498, 498, and then break above 500. We have a chance of going higher. If we don't break 500 and obviously 498, it's going to be very bad. Sorry, Matt. Go ahead and take over. Choppiness, consolidation. Only pick the strongest and the weakest. Leave everything else behind. Thank you, Rochelle.
Okay. Excuse me. Here is the seasonality for the sectors on the long side. There are some strong ones, actually starting from the bottom. Basic materials are strong, communications very strong, real estate, low trades, but that's pretty strong. Utilities and that's it. Just those four. So communication, basic materials, real estate, and utilities. That's on the long side. It's pretty short term. On the short side, nothing. Could get fooled by the consumer staples and the healthcare, but if you look at the profit factors, the accuracy's okay. Profit factor, you lost money going short on healthcare, and you barely made anything on consumer staples. That's really not enough to justify the position. 1.5 at the absolute minimum. That. And then on 10-day hold, here they are. We are mostly stuck in the middle, probably slightly downside, but just not a huge seasonal factor at the moment, which is interesting with earnings coming up. Let's grab the number of stocks in the S&P plus our ETFs. We're at 205. Not great. That's slightly bullish as far as the broad market is concerned. I didn't have any picks today, really, because it's Monday and really want to see the price action play out, but nothing really dominating the top. The only thing that's really missing is the ETFs. So most of the commodities are weaker than the stocks. Here's the short side. short side numbers even lower. 93. That's no good. Won't worry about it. There's the top if you want to see it. And we'll move to 10-day hold. 10-day hold is very low.
What did you say?
The 10-day hold to the long side is pretty low.
Really? Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting. That's interesting
So actually,
information.
maybe moving into a little bit of a weakness coming up seasonally.
Very interesting information. See, this is why I listen to all of this. This is actually really important.
Consumer staples, though.
Consumer staples are doing very well today. Look at all the most of them are doing fantastic today. Actually, some of them are actually breaking. Some of the consumer staples are doing exactly to the upside. What I mentioned, they're breaking above the 50-day moving average.
That yeah, I don't see anything on here just yet, except for garbage RSG.
Richie, I see a breakdown already of inverse head and shoulders. Not a head and shoulders. I see a breakdown. It already broke well below the shoulders. Now we're waiting for it to test the shoulders, which is right where the 50-day moving average is. Yeah, it broke down, not building a head and shoulders. It busted through a head and shoulder. Here, look, let me show you. Oh, forget it. Matt has the screen. I'll show you some other time.
Here, no, you can have it back. I'm done.
Okay. Hey, look at John. Go ahead and grab that from. Here, let me show you. Gap to green email alerts directs you to code breaker alerts. Did you see that, Matt? Gap to
I
green.
saw the message.
What's going on? Why is gap to green? Can you take care of that?
I'm gonna look.
He'll look into it. Yeah, it's a here.
I definitely sent the right email.
Let me just share my screen again real quick.
Let me test it on mine.
See, if you look at the spy right here, here's your head, and here's a shoulder, and here's a shoulder, and here's your neckline, which is right at the 50-day moving average. It breaks the neckline, and now it looks like it wants to, in my opinion, come back and test the 50-day moving average and decide if it wants to come back here or come down here. But I think the next step is testing the 50-day moving average. That's my personal bias. Now, does that mean I'm going to be trading to the long side only? Of course not. Don't be silly. Does that mean I can predict the future? Of course not. Does that mean we can't bounce down, go here and hit the 200-day? Of course not. But technically speaking, the usual move from this is a pullback right here, which would be right at the 50% difference between the move, back tested right here, and then the sellers would say, nope, we don't want it, and then it would go down further or come up here. But the next step would be a back test of the 50. That would be the most logical, probable outcome. All right, Matt, that's all for you?
That's it.
All right. I think I've taught you more than enough. Gap to green is posted. Yeah, it should be posted just fine. All right. You guys have a fantastic day. I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, Jack Carter and I at 10 a.m. are doing a class. Matt, do you have a link for that? Yes, you do. Look at that. You do. You do have a link for that. Here is the link.
Yep,
Let me post you the link. See, we got to get an Alexa to remind you of links too.
Beat you to it.
Thank you, Adam. I appreciate it. He posted, I posted, we all posted it. You guys all have a great day. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Take care.